Would you introduce yourselves, and then we'll talk about your dance group?
Absolutely. My name is Ginny Valiavito, and I'm the founder and director of Ghungroo Dance School.
Okay.
I'm Manya Agarwal, and I am instructing, and I take over the Bolly hop stuff.
Okay.
And my name is Karthika Ashok, and I'm also an instructor at Ghungroo Dance School, and I cover the classical dance.
Ghungroo Dance School, we are basically an Indian dance school with a twist. And what we do is we provide Indian classical foundation, but we kind of adjust the choreography to kind of settle in with modern American mainstream. So we provide a fusion, we provide classical Indian dancing, and of course Bollywood, which is the Indian version of Hollywood, I guess you can say.
And the beautiful part about Ghungroo is that all the kids are getting exposed to different variations of dance.
Yeah.
So whether it's classical, whether it's Bolly hop, whether it's Kathak, Bharatanatyam, they're gaining that exposure and they're becoming versatile performers.
Bolly hop. Explain that one.
Basically, it's like a mix of Bollywood with hip hop. So it's also called Desi hip hop, which Desi is the word like you use for Bollywood kind of, and like just Desi styles, which are like Indian styles. So Bolly hop is kind of just a mix and fusion to kind of bridge the gap between like the Western world and like Indian styles. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to see us do like a cultural week at the schools and bring in the Indian culture, the Asian culture, the Greek culture, because we have all these cultures here. I mean, I've been here 20 years and I've seen the Indian community grow here greatly.
Yes, and actually that's what pushed me. I was born and raised in Chicago, and I will tell you, growing up, I had, my American identity, and I had my Indian identity. I'll be honest. My American identity was my school, my friends, my career. I'm a nurse. Professionally, and I managed to somehow create that and keep my Indian identity, which was heavily rooted in Indian classical dancing, separate. So I think, and I managed to grow up keeping those two worlds separate. So when I moved to California after having kids, I felt like, you know what, I wanted to create some type of vibe that join those two worlds, and that way it was okay to actually join those two worlds, and and give students that cultural, I guess, pride, and like that you can create beautiful shows when these two worlds collide.
Hip hop and Bollywood.
Yeah,
I mean, what gave you that idea? Was that already a thing, or did you went, hey, look, I could do
I
this?
think
It's actually kind of been a thing. It's just I'm trying to introduce it over here and like within Santa Clarita, because also I like did my college here. I went to art school in Santa Clarita. So I was like, I want to give back to the community. So
that's great.
Definitely.
Are you getting a mix of people signing up for the classes and such?
We are. Most of the time, we have our students, and the fun part about it is I see all the students, every student that walks into the door, I see that dual identity, like my little version, where they're coming in, they have like, they're coming in as first generation, and they're like but we've given them a thing that they can bring it into school. We've done like the Stevenson Ranch Variety Show. We've done the international nights at Pico Canyon. Our students make a representation over in the Heart District talent shows. So they're I can see that combination that which is something I didn't have growing up. So I can see that these kids now, and which is the impact I wanted to put in for in the vision for the school. So I'm excited about that.
I got to tell you, I've always enjoyed the colorful culture of Indian people. I mean, just the colors are just amazing.
And that's what's so fascinating about it is India is composed of 28 states. So there are multiple traditions, customs, languages, food, there's dances. So when we talk about all of that and growing up in the U.S., we're all trying to figure out as an Indian person, wow, I didn't know there were this many Indian people.
So no, I'm glad. I love to see clubs like this or groups like this come in, because I think we really do have to have. We have like the Cowboy Festival. I appreciate all that stuff. But I think that we need more cultural events, and maybe not specific to one culture. Like at Central Park, I said, why can't we have a culture day there? Maybe one part of the park is Indian and one part of the park is Greek, and one, you get to taste the different foods and you see the different,
Kind
do
of
you know
like
what I'm saying?
International Day.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
international
okay. And then
day. For the
International Day here in
community,
Santa
yes,
Clarita, because
absolutely.
we're not that white Anglo-Saxon Protestant town of 30 years ago.
Exactly.
It's changed
Exactly.
dramatically, and I think that people need to pay attention to that, and it's a good thing.
Right. And you know what, to kind of, when I say like, even though it's a dance school for me, I think we made it into like a family. So I think that's what, because it's the combination of all these cultures that we combine. And I think that's what made it so successful. I mean, we are the newest dance school. We recently, like I said, got selected to go to Disney World, and that is huge for us. I think at this point, you know what I mean? Like, like for us to, and I think those great strides and those huge milestones are only capable because of a group effort.